Venerable monks, upasakas, upasikas. So, tomorrow we are celebrating known as Wessak Day. United Nations celebrate it as Wessak Day because of the Vaishaka Purnima. So they celebrate it as Wessak Day. So because Buddha, he was born on this day, he achieved enlightenment, awakening on this day, on the Vaishak Purnima, Vesakha. In Pāli it is called Vesakha Purnima, Sanskrit is called Vaishaka Purnima. And also on this day he entered into Mahaparinibbana, that is his death, his demise. So all these three major events of his life happened on the same Purnima, that is the Vaishak Purnima. So the United Nations celebrate it as Vesak Day. And this year they are celebrating in Vietnam, the country Vietnam. So people, delegates from all over the world come there and celebrate. And this year one of the special event was taking the Buddha Dhatu, Buddha relic from India to Vietnam by central government of India, under the IBC, International Buddhist Confederation. And special for Telugu region because that dhatu was discovered in Nagarjuna Konda, Nagarjuna Sagar. It was found there. Because you may be aware, at one point, Nagarjuna Sagar was a very important Buddhist site, center. Just like Nalanda, it was also one of the very important site. Popular teacher there, the renowned teacher, Acharya Nagarjuna, he used to be there, and that's how it is still known as Nagarjuna Konda. You see. So that dhatu was discovered, and it is enshrined in Mulaganta Kuti in Sarnath near Benares, where the Buddha taught the first teaching. So lakhs of people came and paid respect to that Buddha relic. On the first day itself there were 60,000 people who came and paid respect. Likewise, second day, so for the, I think, five days, it was displayed there, and people, it seems they had the parking some 5 kilometers away, some 3-5 kilometers, but people walk all the way to, pay respect to Buddha Dhatu. So this is also one of the special, and every year it is celebrated in different countries, sometime in Thailand, sometime in Sri Lanka. So that's how they celebrate it. So it's a international event. And for the followers of Buddha, this is the most holy day, holiest of the holy day, tomorrow, the Buddha Purnima, Buddha Jayanti. So we have program tomorrow, early morning, not so early, but early morning till evening, early morning 8 to evening almost 7-8 o'clock. The main gathering will be at 11 o'clock. It will be at 11 o'clock, 11 till 1. And then there will be lunch for everyone. And then 2:30 till 4:35, again there will be Paritta chanting, protective chanting, meditation, some teaching throughout the day. And again at 5:30, similar to today, there will be a program. So those of you who stay far can come early as well. So we have arranged breakfast as well at 8 o'clock. So you can come early as well, and maybe if you wish you can help with some of the arrangement here also. You can do if you wish or if you have time. So that's a special day tomorrow, and a lot of people will be coming, and it is good. It is good and it is nice to come together and do meditation, listen to some chanting and Dhamma. So it is a day for accumulating punya, merit, spiritual merit, punya, because spiritual punya is something very helpful, something very beneficial for us, So since it's a holy day, full moon day, so whatever punya you do on that day, it is more beneficial, more fruitful, Also at 10 o'clock, our monks will be doing Pindapata outside the Vihara. So you can bring whatever you wish to, food item you wish to offer, you can bring that as well. So the monks will be coming with the alms bowl, so you can offer. So that's also one event that will going to happen tomorrow. So today I thought I will speak a little about Buddha, So Buddha, he was known as Siddhartha Gautama or Sakya Muni. He is also known as the Sakya Muni or Siddhartha Gautama. He was born in 623 BC. That is almost 2,600 years ago. So he was born in North India, in the Indo-Nepal border. He was born there. And since he was born, it was predicted that he would either become a big emperor or a great religious master, you see. So naturally the king wanted Buddha, to become a king, right? So the king asked some of the sages there, some of the pandits, he asked them, what should I do to make sure that my son becomes a emperor, not a religious master? He should not leave home. He should be in the home. He should be a king, because he was born in a royal family. So the king, the pandits, they suggested that he should not see some of the realities of life, like about getting old or sick or death. You should not talk so much about getting old, getting sick, or dying. All of this topic should not be brought to him, or he should be kept away from such conversation. That was the thing that king was supposed to keep in mind. So So he was brought up in a very ultra luxury, away from the realities of life. He was not allowed to, he was not taken to outside world where, he would see people, elderly people, older people, or sickly people, or, but eventually reality come, right? You can see, he can see that his father too was becoming older. You see, it's not like his father will be younger all the time. He too was becoming little older. So then he wanted to kind of explore the world, right? What is the reality of the world? So he wanted to go out. So then he went out, and of course he saw the realities of life. So a lot of older people, a lot of people getting sick, a lot of people dying. So that was one of the striking point for him to think about life. He was thinking about life in those lines. Obviously, he was not thinking about career and other thing. Okay, of course he was good at his education. He was very good student, very obedient student. He was very skillful in all the arts and other craft. He was very good at all of that. But he was thinking about life, thinking about life in general. What is the purpose of life? Where our life is going. So all of that he was concerned, So he thought, how can we stop, suffering? Because you see, it's not so much a big deal about getting older, getting sick, or dying, but it is the suffering that comes along. It is the suffering that people go through, right? When you are sick or when you are getting old, when you see someone dying, you feel unhappy, you feel depressed, you feel bad, you suffer. You don't like it, you don't want it, but it comes anyway. So that was something he was deeply concerned about, you see. So though his father pushed him to, becoming a king, taking all the, become much bigger king. That's the thing of a king, right? If you look at history, all the kings, what they want is more land, you see. Never satisfied with one land, you see. You look at any kind of land, any kind of king, So they all want some kind of bigger land. Of course, if you look at India, in the recent history, recent time in past 2 millennial, or 1.5 millennial, it's about, you can see there is always a war happening between kings within India. Of course, we do say that, okay, we have not taken other countries' land, but within India, there was a fight. There was always one king taking another land, making bigger land. That was the practice. But Buddha did not have that, or you can call him Siddhartha, because by this time he was not a Buddha. He was not born as a Buddha. So that's something we have to understand, that he was not born as a Buddha. He was born as a Siddhartha. So he was concerned, about human suffering, you see. So he wanted to find a way out of suffering. How can people not suffer? Of course, he knew very well that you can't stop people aging, you can't stop people becoming sick, you can't stop people from dying. All of that you can't, you can't stop people from that. But what you can stop is the suffering, the pain, the suffering, the unsatisfactoriness, or the likes and dislikes. That's why there's hatred, there's anger, there is jealousy, and there is continuous greed. There's continuous greed is always there. So how can I stop it? So he didn't get any answer for that. From nobody could answer him properly. What is the way out of this suffering? So nobody could help him. So he thought, let me find it out. If nobody has found it, let me find it out. You see. So that's how he left his palace. He became a sadhu, a ascetic, sannyas, and he went under different teacher of that time. One of the most popular one was Alara Kalama, Uddaka Ramaputta. So these were the two teachers he studied under, and it's not just study but meditation. So they taught him very deep meditation. One of the meditation they taught was called jhana. Different jhanas. There are 8 jhanas, which means 8 level of meditative achievement. Achievement. It's also called absorption. You see, if you achieve that, then you are in some way temporarily subside your suffering. So once you are in that deep meditation, you can be in that meditation for hours together. For so long you are in the meditation, in that deep meditation, you don't suffer because you are in that deep kind of happiness, kind of joy, And what happens is that once you come out of it, you are still not, you still suffer. You will still suffer. And after you die, where do you go? You are born in a Brahma world. But the Brahma world is still not permanent. Every Brahmas have to die one day. Even though their lifespan is huge, they survive for millions and billions of years. But a day comes when they die. Even the Brahmas, they die. Even the Devas, they die. Human too, of course, we know we die. So he asked those teachers, can I know something more? Can I completely get rid of suffering, the experience of suffering, that we all go through? He said, we don't know. This is the only solution we have. We don't know, right? We can take you all the way up to Brahma, but more than that, we don't know. Is there any way? We don't know. So the culture of samadhi was there. It was there in India. Culture of meditation was there in India even before Buddha. But it was not sufficient enough to completely eradicate suffering within our heart. It was just temporarily subsiding. It was a temporary solution, you see. Of course, it is very deep, it is very higher. Those samadhis too were very higher, as a, with that they also get all the supernormal abilities as well, So it's like a very powerful or in terms of comparing from the human experience, it's a very big solution for our suffering, for our problems or suffering. But it's not the end. It was not the solution. So later he undertook extreme asceticism, of what is called self-mortification, which means giving some kind of extreme upavasa, not eating. He was not eating for weeks, for months, and he was exposing himself to scorching sun, very hot sun, and very during winter into the water, icy water, very cold, minus 50, 60, around that kind of water. So he used to do that because that was the belief at that time, that if you kind of undertake those practices, your karmas will be purified. Your karma will be purified. That was the belief. That was the belief in India, and even today we see some of those belief also, some of those belief and practices also. In the Kumbh Mela, you might have seen, some videos. So that was the practice, and Buddha Siddhartha Gautama, he did that. He did that to the maximum possible, humanly possible. You see, he narrates later when he, after becoming Buddha, after achieving Buddhahood, after achieving awakening, he said, nobody in the world did that kind of extreme practices, giving hardship to the body than me, than the Buddha, than the Siddhartha himself. So he said, nobody did that extreme, that much like what I did. But he didn't get anything. In the sense, it was just more pain actually. It was just more pain, more difficulty to the body. And he was not gaining anything. His mind was not free from suffering. Because you see, what is that suffer? Our mind that suffers, right? It's not just the body, it's the mind primarily. You see. So mind was nothing. Even the mind was becoming more weaker. There was more suffering in the mind. So he understood at one point that just giving some pain to the body, just taking some extreme practices, extreme asceticism, upavasa and all of that, giving pain to the body in the name of purifying karma, that was something he found was not a way. It was not a way. Then he came up with this idea of Majjhima Patipada, in Sanskrit, Madhyam Marg. That is the middle path, the moderate path, the balanced path. So he understood that we have to balance everything, right? We have to balance our life. So that's the discovery he after 6 years, at the age of 29, he left home, became a sadhu, a samana, and at the age of 35, around that time, 6 years, he finally understood that that middle path is the way, extreme is not the way. So then he started taking food, of course, one time in a day, and basic, not too much food, just how much is needed, that much. So he started taking food. So then he again practiced the dhyanas, the samadhi, the jhanas, which were taught by Alara Kalama, Uddaka Buddha, these two sages. So he again rebuilt that within himself, regain that within himself. And then he sat under this what we call the Bodhi tree, and he he sat into the meditation, and he started recalling all the past lives. With the deep meditation, he gained the power to look at all of his past lives. You see, so he saw many thousands of his past lives. Then he saw the past life of his mother, father, and other relatives and friends. Then some other people, like that. He saw all of that past lives. So with that, he understood how the mind works. How suffering comes up. Doing this, suffering comes. Doing that, suffering doesn't come. So like that, he understood, looking at his own past life, you see. And then when he understood, then he also look at the general people, like all the other people also, how their life works. So he found that as well, how by doing certain karma, you get this kind of result. So he understood the law of karma and rebirth, and the causes and conditions, the law of causes and conditions. How basically how our life works. How our mind works. How different condition give rise to certain thing. Certain wrong condition give rise to some wrong result. Different causes and conditions. So, which may include association, which may include certain view, certain view. You see, view means like you understand the world in a certain way. The way you look at the world, that's how you perform. The kind of person you follow, and accordingly you act, and accordingly you get result. So everything he found, every experience of how the world works, So he found that, he discovered that, So how this whole natural system of life, works, how this world, how this cosmos, how this whole world, what we call the world, outside, inside, mind, body, everything, how everything works, he found through the deep meditative state. He used that to look at all of that. And then finally he found that it is because of ignorance, because of not knowing, we get entangled. So which means because of not knowing that giving rise to anger, greed, jealousy, all this negative mind give rise to all of that. It is because of not knowing that. So when he clearly understood that, then he saw, the whole experience of life, and most importantly, his own. He saw his own mind. He saw his own mind from all different angle. It's like say you have a machine, right? You have a machine, and the machine is giving some problem. You see, so what you do is you first of all understand the whole problem, and then you set right where it has to be set right, or why this whole thing is happening. You see. So like that he understood, he saw his own mind from the depth. Because now, as human being, we know our mind, but we don't know our mind as well, right? It's like you know a little bit, but you don't know fully. You are confused with your own mind, and then there are a lot of things that happens in your life. You don't know why it is happening, how it is happening. So Or sometime there are a lot of things that you know that is not good for you, but still you do anyway, right? You engage in that anyway. You see, there are a lot of things that it's not good for me, it's not helpful for me, it is harmful for me, but you anyway get into it, right? It is your craving that comes into. So why it comes? Why the craving takes over you? It's because you don't know the craving as it is. The craving, the power of craving, how it kind of manifests, and how at the core, from where the craving actually starts. So we don't know, because we are distracted by a lot of things. So we don't know. So Buddha, when he sat very deep into meditation, he found all of that. And because he knew in a deeper way, he was able to get rid of the craving. You see, he just got rid of the craving, because he, with the help of this deep wisdom and deep meditative experience, meditation was, of course, one of the powerful equipment that he had. So it was something which was helpful. So he got rid of craving, and then he achieves Buddhahood, he achieves enlightenment, awakening. You can say he was free from suffering, arahant. He was free from the craving, free from the suffering. So he was totally free. And together with that, he became what we call Buddha, Samma Sambuddha. And the reason for him to achieve Samma Sambuddha, the Buddhahood, was because for many lives he was working for it, right? He was practicing parami. He was practicing the parami. Paramis are the spiritual quality that are necessary for people to become a Buddha, you see. But it is like something from many kalpas. Kalpas is many eons, it's like in billions of years, it's long time. He was preparing for achieving Buddhahood, and he got the blessing of achieving Buddhahood from one of the past Buddha, called some almost 24 Buddhas before this Buddha, called Dipankara Buddha. So he got the blessing from that Buddha, and at that time he was spiritually ready enough, mature enough to achieve enlightenment. But then he thought, let me be like this Buddha, Dipankara Buddha. Let me also help other people to achieve happiness, to achieve enlightenment, awakening, free from suffering. That's how he postponed his own enlightenment. And he requested Buddha Dipankara to bless him to achieve Buddhahood in future. And Buddha Dipankara saw that he was capable enough. He was at that point spiritually elevated enough to take up this huge task of achieving Buddhahood. And that's how Buddha Dipankara blessed him. And 24 or 25 Buddha after that he achieved Gautama, and that's how he became Gautama Buddha. He is known as Gautama Buddha. Before this Buddha was Kassapa Buddha. Like that there were many. So our Buddha is not the first and last Buddhas, So there will be some Buddhas in future as well. But it is very, very rare. It's not like Buddha just comes every 100 years or every 1,000 years or every every 100,000 years. It's not like that. Buddha comes after a really, really long time. So as a human being now, all of us, we have to follow the middle path the Buddha showed us, so that we will be preparing ourselves so that we can achieve enlightenment like Buddha in this life or sometime in the next life. But one of the beautiful thing is that as you walk on the path, you will see a lot of glimpses of enlightenment, which means you will see a lot of good thing happening. You will be able to keep yourself away from suffering, which means some of the day-to-day suffering or difficulty won't bother you much, as you walk on the path. So that's something you can experience. So as I was saying, that enlightenment is something where you don't suffer, But it doesn't mean that once you got enlightenment, you will not have bodily pain. Like Buddha had bodily pain, Buddha also died. But it was not giving him, suffering. You see, you got my point? Like let us say, like there is a popular sutta by Buddha which I mentioned earlier, that the simile of two arrows, the first and the second arrows. The first arrow is the arrow which is hit to you. It's like your day-to-day problem, like you get headache, you lose something, you get somebody blame you, all of that. But the second arrow is your reaction. I can call it reaction. How do you react to it? How do you respond to it? So you have some problem, somebody says something to you, or you get some difficulty, you lose something, you got blame or whatever. But if you are not wise enough, if you are not calm enough, if you are not, if your mind is developed enough, so it just doesn't come like that. You have to make an effort. Like today you are listening to Dhamma, you did meditation. These are some effort, these are some steps wherein you develop your mind, you nurture your mind. And once you develop and nurture your mind, you will not so much suffer, right? You will, even though the same problem may come, but you won't suffer, you won't react, you won't, it won't become big. What I'm trying to tell is, there is suffering, but generally we have this suffering, but we have this problem, but we make it this big, even more than this, So this problem, some people, they make, of course everybody have a reaction. Some people this much, some people this much, some people this much, some people even this much also. So the measure, the yardstick to check where you are in the spirituality is when you're struck by the difficulties of life, how do you respond to it? How do you react? That's the measure to see your spiritual level. That's the way to check your own self or check others where they are at the level of spirituality, you see. So as you practice, this will become less, and finally it is gone. Gradually it becomes less. Of course, it won't happen immediately or in 1 or 2 days, overnight. It will take a long time. It may take long time. Of course, it depends on people to people, depending on their own past karmas, past practices. It depends on so many factors. So gradually it will become less, and finally it comes to this much, and then boom, it is gone. It is suddenly disappeared. The whole craving is just crashed. You just crash the whole craving, the ignorance. So now you don't suffer. And then you don't have to be reborn again. You don't have to be reborn again. Do you want to be reborn again? Especially some of who are elderly, having seen the life, do you want to be reborn again? So it's not easy, right? It's not easy the life is not so easy. Everybody tells, it's not easy. So that's why Buddha, we realize very much later in life, but Buddha realized it way early, The life is not so easy. Of course, he was a prince, but still, whether you are a prince or you are a pauper, life is life. Mine is mine. It is same for everybody. Don't think that if you are a king or a millionaire, your suffering is gone. No, it doesn't go, right? So that's why it is said, the only similarity between a king and a commoner is suffering. Both suffer. Right? So, therefore, we have to walk on the way, and that's something Buddha showed us, promised us. And Buddha says, until I myself found the enlightenment, the total freedom from suffering, craving, hatred, everything, I never claim I am a Buddha. I never said I am a Buddha. Only when I achieve it, then only I said I am a Buddha. So Buddha means what? Awaken, somebody who is awakened. But we are not fully awakened. We are little still sleeping. We are not fully awakened. We are not sure, right? So that's something Buddha has shown to us. And then for the next 45 years, from the age of 35 to 80, he traveled all over India, mostly central part of India, all the way till north. So he walked and taught Dhamma, and many people came into his teaching, and that's how he established a sangha. That is the community of monk. It's called sangha, both ladies and gents, and they were the one who kind of preserved the Buddha's teaching. So till now, unbroken from 2,600 years till now, it is continuously coming down. And of course, in India, it became in between. It became little less known, less practiced. You see what Buddha said. If you don't practice Buddha's Dhamma, Buddha calls his teaching Dhamma. If you don't practice Dhamma, then Dhamma disappears. You see, so in India, almost till 8th century, 10th century, people were practicing. After that, people stopped practicing. Okay, so because of that, Buddhism became very less, almost extinct in India. But in the neighboring countries like Myanmar, Thailand, Tibet, China, and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, all the way till Korea, Japan, Mongolia, even all the way till Greece, it was there. Even Iran, Afghanistan, the Burmese Buddha, Afghanistan, it was there all the way till the Egypt, till Greece, Even the Greece king, Menander, he took Dhamma all the way till Greece. So it was very much practiced now. So now in India also, it is again, people are again practicing it. Our teacher, he started this Mahabodhi in 1956, and his wish is that people should get, it should be available, because when he got interested in Buddha Dhamma, it was not available, so he had to go to Sri Lanka to study there in Myanmar, and he came back in 1956, and in Bangalore he started the center. It is one of the branch, this Hyderabad. So like that, we are again practicing. So we should all learn the Dhamma, practice in our life, So it's a way of life, It's the teaching of Buddha is also a way of life. Also, it tells you all about how you can, make your life better, make your life much more better, much more happier, much more wiser, much more harmonious. All of that he teaches, that's all it is, And so that's something we have to do, and that way our life, our personal life, family life, social life, and community life, communal and even nation will become much more better and better and better. So this is some teacher teaching on on Buddha, because it's a Buddha Purnima tomorrow. So tomorrow, as I said, we have a program tomorrow. So please come with your family, friends, and relatives. Everyone, it is for everyone. Everybody is invited, whether you are following Buddha or not, whether you are from any religion, any caste, you are all welcome. And as I said, if you are far away, so you can come little early. We have breakfast at 8 o'clock. And then there is a puja at 9 in the outside Bodhi Stupa. Then 10 o'clock, the monks will come with the bowl. You can bring whatever you want to offer, food or whatever, eatable basically, outside the gate. And then 11 o'clock, we'll have the gathering here. So we'll have the program, puja, and some teaching. We have one guest monk, Venerable, is coming and teaching, giving a talk, releasing one book, and we have other program throughout the day. So you can spend the whole day also. There is a lunch also arranged, and we have whole day some chanting and other program as well. So it's a whole day program. You can spend the whole day in a spiritual manner. And it is a holy, very holy place, holy day. It's as I said, Wessak Purnima. So please come with your family and friends and take the benefit of that special day tomorrow. So I think so with this I conclude. I wish all of you good health, peace of mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So much, Bhanteji, for the teachings. Now we will conclude with metta chanting. Sukhi bhave yang nidukho ahang nichang ahang viyam hita cha me sukhi hontu majjata chatavirino imami gama ketang hi sata hontu sukhi sada tato parancara jesu cakavale sujantono sadhu sadhu sadhu.